Welcome to MFON's Women's Empowerment. I am MJ. I am back. I am currently on YouTube, and I am and will be doing a lot of things. Holistic woman. Well, we'll talk about the beauty. We're talking about our emotions, yes, ladies, the physical, the social, the spiritual, the financial, the whole works. How to be an empowered woman from the outside, yes, beauty-wise, and the inside. And above all, the spiritual, yes. But I'll be here once a month. For those who don't care for YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, but just want to just listen to a podcast in their own comfort and just be calm and chilled. Yes. And so, Daddy, I just want to be loved. That's promise. And a little girl's first relationship with a man is likely to be her father. Supposed to be likely. And that father and daughter relationship becomes her blueprint for her beliefs about what she deserves, what she should expect. And as she chooses a man in her adulthood, that is the role model, that present man in her life, the person who she deemed to care for her, the person who she thought was reliable. Yes, Daddy, I just want to be loved. On the other hand, that father figure, if he fails to see and cherish his daughter, when his daughter grows up, she may choose to tolerate poor romantic relationships. So, let's dive deep, girls. Why do we need the first man in our lives to shape the relationship of all men that we will encounter? Why is it so pivotal? Why has it impacted our lives? Why do we tend to pick men that resembles what we know? Why? So let's look at the why. Because when we see the why, we kind of say, okay, well, this is why I tend to look for this man. Or this is why I may be looking for this type of person. Because maybe I've never seen what it is to be with the right man before. I didn't see it. Or maybe Daddy was home, but he wasn't home. His presence wasn't there for me how I needed him to be, right? Or maybe Daddy passed away. Maybe Daddy left. Maybe you don't know who Daddy is. Or maybe you were raised by someone else who you call Daddy. And so, the importance of a woman having a father in her life, it can do some damage if he's not around, or if he is there, but not there. Sometimes you could develop some kind of emotional disorder, that stems from an issue with trust, lack of self-esteem, and can lead to a cycle of repeated dysfunctional decisions in relationship with men, ladies. Some people call it the fatherless syndrome. Psychologists say it could be like something like an emotional changes that occur in a little girl's life. Imagine Daddy is holding you, kissing you. He's there for you. He's there for you through all the stages of your life. Emotionally. Yes, when you're crying, he's there to be your Superman. He's there to grab you, hold you, take away the tears from your eyes. He's there for you physically, tying your shoes, trying to help you put on your coat, your shirt, even trying to comb your hair. Oh boy, He might be out there running with you, showing you how to ride that bike. Yes, there for you at your first recital. And he's cheering you on, encouraging you academically, and letting you know that he is there for you at all times. That's what that does. And imagine you growing up with that strong, self-empowered self-esteem. And daughters who grow up without a father figure, they experience a range of emotions. Sometimes it could be anger, sadness, confusion. And they may understand that something is wrong, but sometimes they don't know what it is. And sometimes you develop a coping mechanism, that kind of leads you through your life so that you could just get by. And what it could be is, Daddy, I just want to be loved. And I'm not talking about those ladies who grew up with a father in the home and you're saying, well, my father was all that, but I just wanted to be a bad girl. Well, we're going to talk about those bad girls, right? So I'm not talking to you. Some of the traits that you know of a fatherless girl who just wants to be loved. Sometimes she's so driven to achieve. She's powerful. She's relentless in all things. She wants to prove her value. And sometimes she could be a conflict avoider because she doesn't know how to deal with conflict. She wasn't taught. And then she always trying to make new relationships, try to make it work as hard as she can because they don't want to get abandoned again. They don't want to feel rejected. Sometimes they may even sacrifice their own needs to meet other needs. So just to feel the love of being appreciated, to be belonged, to be needed. And boy, today, society, the pain and the hurt of a grown woman who just wants to be loved by daddy is a feeling of abandonment, of being physically and emotionally just empty. Imagine not having that love and protection. Imagine even the father being at home, but maybe he didn't know how because he never received it and probably was told several times by this mother because that's her way of protecting you. Ladies, maybe he just didn't want to do it. He just didn't feel like it. We'll talk about that one day. Sometimes these girls grow up with daddy issues. Don't want to trust, lack of self-esteem, and a repeated cycle of this dysfunctional issue with men as they get older because the trauma is still there in the subconscious mind. The grief, the sadness of daddy, I just want to be loved. I just want you to hold me. I just want you to just hold me tight. And there's some ladies who were so close to their fathers, and sometimes when a girl starts to develop, she may get her first cycle, or she may be developing. Some fathers just don't know how to handle this new girl who's blossoming into a woman right before his eyes, and some men tend to detach. Oh boy, that leads to that girl feeling so hurt, so abandoned, pain, right? So what are some of the signs that we could go a little bit deeper? Some girls may be interested in older men. It could be an unconscious, subconscious thing. You don't realize that you're attracted to this older man looking for daddy because that older man is giving you that security, hopefully that protection financially, maybe emotionally, that you so long for in the unconscious mind. And somebody may say, oh, girl, no, I just needed a sugar daddy. Okay, if you say so. You could be very clingy and possessive and protective. You may be wanting demands of love from your significant other all the time. You probably attract a lot of abusive lovers. It is always ongoing, unconsciously. You may crave a lot of sex. You know, some young ladies, when they begin to form and develop at a young age, they tend to be very promiscuous, right? Looking for that love, that unconscious, daddy, I just want to be loved feeling. You don't want to be alone, right? So what can we do, ladies? What can we do? What we're going to do is we're going to try to get the help that we need so that we can be emotionally fulfilled and empowered. And so we recognize that something is not right. Something is missing somewhere, and I need to get this dealt with. And so sometimes if you feel like you need to go and meet with daddy, if he's still alive, and speak to him and let him know how you feel. And if you did that already and daddy's just refusing to love you the way how you want to, and you got it out your system, you prayed about it, you talked to God about it, leave it, because you did your part. And phase 2 is, if you feel like that's not enough, you need to go to therapy to have your therapist assist you with the healing process. Do so. Do so. Ladies, and the best thing you could ever do is, if the person is deceased and you don't know where to find him, just write yourself a nice letter or audio and pretend like you're talking to him and say everything that you wish you could say. And if it takes you a whole month to write it, take the whole month and release it. Give it to God. Say, God, I give you this. Take it. I have released all the pain, all the hurt that I wanted to tell this dad that's I can't find or is deceased, and be free. And even if you have a father you're afraid to tell him, you can easily do the same and just release it. Be free. And the phase 2 again is get the help you need, ladies. Go to therapy. Therapy don't kill anybody. And keep going until you find the right therapist. You may say, well, I tried that and I didn't like this person. Fine. There is compatibility in therapy. Make sure it's not an excuse, or the brain sometimes have a way of self-sabotaging. Ladies, you got to recognize that sometimes you could be in therapy, and when they begin to unravel and get down to the nitty-gritty, and when it's time to go through a healing process, the brain will have a way of saying, I don't want to come back here anymore, because it wants to hold on to what it's been holding on to for years. It can't imagine you being free, out of bondage, and emotionally empowered. So you got to fight against it. You got to recognize it. So don't let you say, well, I'm when, and then, blah, 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 blah. No, keep pushing and be free. Let me tell you something. That is the most powerful thing you could ever do as a woman, to be empowered, is to be set free from an emotional bondage. especially of Daddy, I just want to be loved. And get with a healthy person in your life. Pray about it. So God, show me a healthy couple that has a good father figure, and let me see what this man needs to look like if I've never seen it before. Position me, oh God, that I may see. Point me to that person. Point me to that pastor. Point me to the elder. Point me to maybe there's an uncle, a friend, a neighbor, someone in your life who can show you what it looks like if you've never seen it. God is so awesome. Ladies, I want to leave you with that. I'm going to open up the questions. You can ask me any questions you want, and we can chat. And Daddy, I just want to be loved. Be blessed.